top 5 of 2025, and I know it's February of 2026, but there it is. Number 1, A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Cathrall. It's an epistolary novel. It's pure enchantment. It blends science fiction and romance and mystery, all wrapped in this story with gorgeous Victorian overtones that made me ache for a time when people narrated their lives through letters. In this novel, they're called automative post missives, which somehow makes that whole thing more charming rather than email. The plot is intricate, completely mesmerizing, but what really stands out for me is the writing itself. This is a mystery. It's a love story. It explores themes of family, identity, grief, acceptance, and curiosity. And like I said before, the writing is absolutely beautiful. On a totally different note, number 2, Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna van Veen. The novel itself opens with a foreword that helpfully prepares us, the reader, for what is coming. It is creepy. It is bloody. If you're not into body horror, maybe this one isn't for you, but I found it a whole lot of fun. It's about Lucy, who receives a deeply unsettling letter from her twin sister, Sarah. The letter itself is completely incoherent. It's desperate. The handwriting itself is agitated. However, Lucy isn't entirely shocked because madness runs in the family. When she arrives to see Sarah, she tries to figure out for herself what is the cause of her sister's distress. And in order to do so, she starts to read Sarah's journals. But these journals aren't just personal reflections. They are scholarly and in a way become obsessive. Apparently, a body has been discovered on the property, but it's not just any body. It is a bog woman, eerily preserved throughout the centuries. Sarah's fixation on the bog woman seems to have pushed her beyond reality, and she's on the edge, and she really seems insane. We, the readers, begin to wonder if it is mental illness or is she truly possessed by the bog woman herself. And Lucy herself is at wit's end. It's deeply atmospheric, it's gruesome, it's suspenseful, and I found it surprisingly funny at times, often at the expense of a few unlucky characters. And I love Johanna van Veen, the author, so much because she deals with heavy themes, but the story is still gruesome fun. So Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna van Veen. Number 3, The River Has Roots by Amal El-Mohtar. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Canadian author. This novel introduces us to the Hawthorne sisters, Esther and Isabel, who live in a small village of Thistleford, right on the edge of this beautiful country of Acadia, right by the forest that kind of borders the land between mortals and the land of Fae. The sisters have 2 jobs. One is to weave exquisite willow baskets, and the other is a far more important task, and that is to sing to the willows. When they sing, we're told that, quote, "you can feel the grammar in the air," and that line alone tells you what kind of book this is. It is a love story. It is a story about family. It is a story about choices. It's a very short novel, more of a novella than anything else. It reads like a fairy tale, but there's a strong sense of lyricism as well, and there's these beautiful etchings that are included in the novel itself. It's, if you like literary analysis, the symbols in the story are prolific. It lends themselves to theme. It is an absolutely enchanting novella. Number 3, The Mad Wife. Told in first person, and it drops us straight into the life of Lulu, a housewife in the 1950s. Lulu was once an aspiring photojournalist and with dreams of her own, but then she meets Henry, and she has to set those ambitions aside for marriage and motherhood. And as I began reading this, I found myself wondering if Lulu perhaps had postpartum depression, made worse by her current pregnancy. Her emotional fragility is intensified by resurfacing memories of guilt surrounding her father's death and family responsibilities that she had had after that. The weight of it all is unbearable, and she seems unable to cope. Lulu becomes a very unreliable narrator. A new family moves in beside them, and Lulu is fixated on the wife, Betsy. She's convinced that Betsy's personality is that of a woman who has undergone a lobotomy. Horrifying but all too rare practice in the 1950s to treat things like housewife fatigue and female hysteria. It definitely is a novel that offers a sharp critique of society's longstanding dismissal of women's health. Familiar phrases such as "it's hormonal" or "all you need to do is lose weight" kind of echo throughout, alongside chilling reminders of how casually tranquilizers and shock therapy and lobotomies at the time were prescribed. And I found the novel completely engrossing, rich with symbolism, layered character development, and thematic depth. And it would be a perfect novel for a book club. The conversations that would arise from its content would be fascinating. And finally, The Strength of the Few by James Islington, or Islington. I think it's Islington. It is the second in the Hierarchy series, the first being The Will of the Many. I love this series, and I was overjoyed when this second one was published in November. I loved this one even more than the first. I loved returning to the world of Rez. I loved discovering 2 entirely new worlds, and spending time again with, like I said, all the characters that I met in the previous novel. The main character, Viz, his character has grown in such a way that I found deeply satisfying, multidimensional. If you know, you know. The new characters are compelling. The plot, don't even get me started. I had to go on Reddit again afterwards and take a look at some of the theories and just to clarify a few things that happened. Definitely worth a reread, and I don't reread very often, but the Hierarchy series is a series that I tend to reread just to kind of get everything. It's the plot, it's intricately woven, it's perfectly paced, I find, and packed with relentless suspense and moments of shock. There's heartache, there are tears, and there's that overwhelming, unsettling need to immediately read the next book that I find rather torturous. And Islington is, as far as I'm concerned, absolutely cruel in the way that he ends his novels. You've got this cliffhanger that leaves you clinging to, what is real, what just happened here. I go down rabbit holes on the internet just to kind of figure things out and see what other people have what conclusions other people have come to. So those are my 5 of 2025. I hope you pick 1 or 2 of them up. I don't think you'll be disappointed.